Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here.
The rise of Zohran Mamdani, how a socialist organizer beat Cuomo and could become New York's next mayor.
Many familiar faces.
In a city known for its political dynasties, sky-high rents, and ever-shifting demographics, a 33-year-old immigrant-turned-legislator has redrawn the political map. On June 24, 2025, Zohran Mamdani, a first-term state assemblyman and proud Democratic socialist, defeated former Governor Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primary for mayor of New York City. The upset sent shockwaves through political circles nationwide and may usher in one of the most ideologically progressive mayoral administrations in the city's history if Mamdani triumphs again in the November general election. From Kampala to Queens. Born in Uganda in 1991 to a family of public intellectuals, his mother is the acclaimed filmmaker Mira Nair, and his father, the political theorist Mahmoud Mamdani. Zohran Mamdani's journey is anything but typical. He spent his early childhood in Cape Town, South Africa, before moving to New York City at the age of 7. Raised in Queens, he attended Bronx Science and later graduated from Bowdoin College, where he studied Africana Studies and founded a chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine. His worldview was shaped by diasporic identity, anti-colonial politics, and economic inequality. Before running for office, Mamdani worked as a foreclosure prevention counselor, helping low-income homeowners in Queens avoid eviction, a formative experience that would later define his policy goals. He is also an artist. Under the stage name Mr. Cardamom, he rapped about identity and class struggles. His 2016 viral hit, Kachumbari, with fellow artist JME, blended Swahili, English, and South Asian references with a streetwise Brooklyn beat. The road to Albany. In 2020, backed by the Democratic Socialists of America, DSA, Mamdani ran for the New York State Assembly, representing the 36th district in Astoria. He defeated a 4-term incumbent and quickly became part of a rising left coalition in Albany, joining figures like Julia Salazar and Jabari Brisport. As an assemblyman, Mamdani focused on housing justice, public transit, and Palestinian solidarity. His advocacy for ending evictions, expanding tenant protections, and defunding the police won praise from progressives and scorn from moderates. In the wake of the 2023 Israel-Gaza war, Mamdani became one of the few New York elected officials to openly criticize U.S. support for Israeli military action. His position made him a lightning rod in the media, but also solidified his standing among anti-war and civil rights groups. The mayoral bid, a movement, not a campaign.
Good morning, New York City. I should be the mayor.
In October 2024, Mamdani announced his candidacy for mayor. At the time, few gave him a chance. His opponent, Andrew Cuomo, was mounting a political comeback, boasting national name recognition, a deep donor network, and support from moderate Democrats, police unions, and real estate groups. But Mamdani's strategy was fundamentally different. He launched a grassroots movement, drawing on thousands of volunteers, many affiliated with the DSA, labor unions, and immigrant justice groups. His platform was bold: rent control and public housing expansion, free public bus service, city-run grocery stores to fight food desert, universal child care, a 2% tax on the top 1% of earners to fund social programs. He dubbed the campaign a New Deal for New York. Culturally savvy and multilingual, Mamdani's campaign released viral content, like a Bollywood-style explainer of ranked choice voting in Hindi and Urdu. His Gen Z team spearheaded the TikTok phenomenon #HotGirlsForZohran, which paired progressive politics with aesthetic activism. Endorsements from Bernie Sanders, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Cynthia Nixon helped energize younger voters and left-wing communities. Even celebrities like Emily Ratajkowski jumped aboard the movement. The Cuomo clash and primary shock. The race quickly became symbolic. Cuomo represented the return of the establishment, while Mamdani embodied a new insurgent left. Cuomo's campaign leaned into fear, accusing Mamdani of being anti-Israel, soft on crime, and dangerously radical. Conservative commentators branded him a communist. Donald Trump even weighed in, threatening to arrest Mamdani if he won and tried to limit ICE deportations. But these attacks backfired. Young voters turned out in record numbers. Arab, South Asian, and Latino communities, long overlooked in city politics, rallied behind him. On primary night, after a tense round of ranked choice tabulations, Mamdani defeated Cuomo by 12 percentage points. Cuomo conceded shortly after midnight. For Mamdani, it was more than a personal win. It was proof that New York City was ready for something radically different. What lies ahead? A New York at the crossroads. Mamdani now heads into the general election as the overwhelming favorite in a deeply democratic city. Still, challenges remain. Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa is running on a law and order platform, and Eric Adams has mounted an independent bid, hoping to attract centrists disillusioned with both extremes. There are whispers that Cuomo might even return on a third-party ticket. Meanwhile, Mamdani must navigate tensions between ideological purity and administrative pragmatism. Can a democratic socialist govern effectively in a city beset by homelessness, climate risk, and fiscal crises? Will his vision attract not only activists but homeowners, small business owners, and middle-class professionals? If elected, Mamdani would become the first Indian-American mayor of NYC, the first Muslim to hold the office, one of the youngest big city mayors in the U.S. His election would also mark a broader transformation, from the centrist Clinton-Bloomberg era to a new age of urban leftism, multiracial, digitally native, and unafraid to challenge power. Governing the dream. Can ideals withstand reality? As Mamdani shifts from insurgent candidate to presumptive mayor, he faces a daunting question. Can a movement built on idealism survive the machinery of city government? If elected, his administration would inherit a city with soaring housing costs, crumbling infrastructure, and an asylum seeker crisis stretching services to their limits. His platform, while visionary, requires massive coordination, legislative buy-in, and administrative agility. Critics argue that Mamdani's rhetoric outpaces what's legally and logistically feasible. But his supporters counter that incrementalism has failed New York's working class. "We've tried tinkering around the edges," said an organizer from Queens. "It's time to try governing with imagination." Building a city where everyone belongs. Even before the election, Mamdani has already altered the city's political conversation. Proposals like municipal grocery stores, once considered fringe, are now being debated by mainstream outlets. His focus on public goods, from childcare to transit, reframes New York not as a playground for the wealthy, but as a sanctuary for the many. His campaign's multilingual messaging has also recalibrated what civic inclusion looks like. By directly engaging non-English-speaking voters, often in their native languages, Mamdani has challenged the assumption that city politics must be conducted in a narrow cultural register. More broadly, he's given political expression to communities long seen but rarely heard: working-class South Asians, Arab immigrants, young activists, and tenants on the brink of eviction. A new model for urban leadership. Across the country, mayors are increasingly at the front lines of national issues, from climate adaptation and public safety to immigrant rights and economic inequality. In this landscape, Mamdani's possible election isn't just a local story. It's a test case for whether the American left can govern a city of 9 million people. His campaign slogan, "A New Deal for New York," harkens back to Roosevelt, but the stakes feel even more urgent. As wealth inequality rises and public trust erodes, Mamdani's vision suggests not just policy shifts, but a different way of thinking about leadership: participatory, accountable, and grounded in solidarity. Whether that vision flourishes or flounders may hinge not just on Mamdani's decisions, but on whether New Yorkers themselves are ready to build power collectively, not just cast a vote, but help remake the city. Conclusion: the politics of the possible. In many ways, Zohran Mamdani's story is a case study in what political futurists have long predicted: that American cities, especially those as diverse and divided as New York, would become laboratories of democratic socialism. Whether that experiment succeeds remains to be seen. But if June 2025 was any indication, the city is ready to try. As Mamdani said in his victory speech, "We are not here to manage decline. We are here to build a city where no one is disposable and everyone belongs." And for the first time in a long time, a mayoral race in New York feels like it could actually live up to that promise. Author's note: as November approaches, all eyes will be on New York. But win or lose, Zohran Mamdani has already rewritten the rules of what a mayoral campaign can look like and who it can be for.